Dr. Sumi Eshampati. Okay, he's the co-founder of Cleared4Work.com. He's going to be joining us momentarily. He was also a professor of surgery and public health at Weill Cornell Medical College. Trauma, critical care, emergency surgery. The guy's, this is a qualified doctor. I can't play around with him like I do with some of these psychologist doctors. This is a real MD, experienced in, in surgery, and professor at Cornell. Okay, so hello, Ivy League. So we're waiting for Dr. Sumi now, and I think I see him there. Nico, can Dr. Sumi hear me?
Hi there.
He can hear you.
Okay, very good. Okay, so joining me right now, the man I was just discussing, Sumi Eshampati, is co-founder of Cleared4Work.com, professor of surgery and public health at Weill Cornell Medical College. From what I understand, Doc, you and some of your associates are actually getting in there on the front lines as we speak.
Yes, I did some volunteer work at in the ICU in New York City, and it was all they said it was. A lot of sick patients, a lot of ventilators, and very tragic in a lot of ways.
So, my background is Wall Street, financial technology, so I really, have a great understanding of what you guys are trying to adapt to right now. You had, a bunch of medical, a bunch of applications out there to keep people trackable, knowable, self-reporting, and now you've turned that into Cleared4Work, which may be a key part for businesses, small and large, to ensure that they have, a good working relationship on information flow with their employees, right?
That's right. So Cleared4Work is a technology we think a lot of people will use and need because the federal government is making the employers monitor the symptoms when they go back to work. So we created an application that employers can use. It's effective in monitoring symptoms and also effective for the employers to keep track of who has what.
Right. So if I understand correctly, or at least what I think I'm translating, reading the tea leaves from the president down to different state governor actions, but employers, I think, are going to have the okay to open their doors again with certain restrictions on admission and overnight cleaning, but probably on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, alternating basis, or something like 50% or 33% capacity. Somewhere in there, the employer needs to find out from the employee, hey, what's happened over the last 2 months with you? What have you got? What haven't you got? When was the last time you were checked? And you give users a way and enterprise employers a way for people to have that information dialogue with their HR or with their company executives.
Exactly. Now there'll be two issues. One is on the day the office opens or the employee, the place in general opens, are they safe to go back on that day? And then the next thing will be a month from then, did they catch something after they were already safe? So there's a little bit of a different strategy. So if you're exposed the 2 weeks before you started work, it's one set of questions. But then if you pick up something later, it's a little bit of a different set of questions. So you really have to keep track going forward of a lot of different things. And we make it easier for the employers to do that.
You have a phenomenal resume. So, some of the, people that think they have great companies, they've never actually been in there. It's all theoretical and academic. And you guys are, till this day, still in the emergency rooms and understanding what the communicability of this thing is and, what the acute effects are and otherwise. Have you seen anything, we try to kind of really break it down and let people learn something from the show. Have you seen anything in your experiences that you could say, hey, people say, well, extra vitamin C, everybody's drinking orange juice. Zinc, there's no zinc left in CVS. They say quinine, and there's no tonic water left in Shop and Stop. What is in your view, is there anything people, other than, immuno, run on the treadmill, keep your lungs strong, is there anything that you've seen that a majority of your associates are saying, this may help?
Sure. Well, I think the last part is the thing that most people can control the most, and that is stay healthy and keep your lungs healthy. And all the days off, all the hospital employees are exercising, and they know how important it is to have lungs strong. So let me just reiterate that point is terrific. In terms of what medicines that we would take over the counter, I think the vitamin C and the zinc are terrific. It's very hard to prove benefit. I think people will find that a couple of these drugs will be useful, but that'll really be after you're infected. I think in terms of we can't avoid it, but we can do things in terms of contact tracing to avoid getting it. And a lot of those things have already been mentioned, such as the social distancing. And I think when you go back to work, companies will use strategies, and we have a lot of them, that will prevent employees from getting the disease from each other. And that requires clustering and strategic positioning of seating and having only certain segments come in at certain days. And one of the things that people aren't realizing as much is the airflow in the offices is going to matter as well. And they actually linked a Chinese restaurant to airflow as well. So there's a lot of different things, and people got to keep coming up with more things. And that's one of the things we like about Cleared4Work is that we can modify things and relate it to our clients in real time. And we want to minimize people getting sick. I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not going to be a zero infection rate when we go back to work. It's going to be some people infected, and we have to prevent them from becoming outbreaks.
Right. Hey, Doc, I had someone on the show that said, when all was said and done, the SARS virus, there's 50 or 60 million people that had it. We're at 1 million. So is some of it, thank God we did the social distancing. I'm not against it. I think it was the right thing to do for everyone's safety, especially for the seniors, because the seniors would have been piling up quickly. But is it still a little overblown at this point when we have it, at 1 million, and we know we got through 60 million?
Right. Well, it's really hard to gauge because there was social distancing. So we don't know what would have happened if there was not social distancing. But I can tell you one thing, the New York City hospitals were stressed, and extra patients there would not have done well. They were already really very challenged. But the thing to keep in mind is all communities are different. New York City has a very dense population. A lot of people live together in small spaces. They take public transportation. They share elevators. They are in smaller restaurants. They're not driving as much. It was near, the weather's not been great, so people aren't outside as much as they could. But in other parts of the country, there should be a different set of rules and a different standards. And I think each community will have to gauge their own risk.
Yeah. Well, it's going to get tricky right now because unfortunately it seems like every so often the best interests of the people don't wind up down in Washington, and instead of politicizing some of this crap, they focused all that energy into, integrating technology and capacity that the U.S. government should have from a technological standpoint. But sometimes these things are the times when great innovations are born because people think outside the box and then further outside the box. And that's what you guys are doing. You could really be, part of the solution, or at least part of the movement towards, technological advances in the movement.
Well, I think that's a terrific point. And so we had a digital software company for the last couple of years, and we were able to pivot and work on a solution such as, first we made a flu checker in February, before the CDC had one. As soon as we heard about COVID and coronavirus, we made a flu checker that was launched before the CDC website had a symptom monitor on it, and Apple and Google came up with theirs. And then we were also able to make Cleared4Work. And it is companies like ours putting their heads together, trying to find solutions is what's going to get us out of this problem.
Certainly adaptable. And I have to tell you, I worked on Wall Street most of my life. Most of the brilliant and rich doctors I knew were not the greatest at harnessing that into business. And you guys seem to have captured even that side. So there's certainly a bright team you got there who understands all facets of the business. How are you guys intending on getting the word out there further?
Sure. Well, thank you for asking that. And thank you for complimenting our team. We're very proud of our team. We have a lot of experience in business and software and applications. We've already reached out and we've had press releases. We've had other media opportunities. We've had a lot of inquiries and from large and small companies. I think the good thing here is that companies get it. They realize that they do not want to have outbreaks in their offices and they are looking for solutions. And we're happy that they think that we are going to be their solution. We have put a lot of time and effort into creating the best symptom monitor that we have that's really capable, and we modify it all the time. We put a lot of effort in thinking about how contact points of disease will occur. We're partnering with temperature monitors that will look at small and large groups of people coming into an office and how that's going to be monitored and how it's going to be captured in a dashboard. And we really, it's going to be word of mouth in terms of how you asked about how we're going to market, but it's also going to be just people hearing about us and knowing that we have the right solutions.
Got it. All right. Well, I want to thank you very much, Doc. Dr. Sumi, maybe how does it work? So let's say, some
Sure.
small business, they just got their PPP loan, they feel good, they can go back, at half staff every other day. What does it cost them to sign up with you guys?
Sure. So they can email us at sales@fluchecker.com. We are basically giving it to very small companies for free. And then for medium-sized companies, we're charging a platform amount and a per-month employee monitoring fee, and that's very affordable. And larger companies will naturally have more integration into their software and their computer IT systems as well. But you should know that for very small companies, we're happy to help, and it is free.
Got it. Well, I can tell you as a longtime entrepreneur, if you get something that's affordable for all small businesses, it's way better than chasing after the 1, 2, 3 big ones. So it's nice to know. I'm going to, continue to promote it. Maybe we can have you back. Tell us how the advances are going.
Sure.
And, certainly if there's a lot of our audience are entrepreneurs, small business people, investors. If anyone out there, wants to learn more, maybe, a small business with a few employees, they can actually sign up for nothing. And then maybe it grows into a new account or something.
That's right. That's what we're hoping. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you joining us today. We'll see you again.
Thanks, John.